Dan Perry here with another Dan on Tech Python video. In addition to decision structures where we had the if statement, looping or repeating tasks are very important in programming. Many of the operations we do will need to be done over and over again, just with different data. So we have a number of different ways to do loops. The for loop is one of the more common ways, and with the for loop, what you're going to do is you're going to enter the loop, you're going to ask a question just like with the if statement, and that question will be a true or false, and if it is true, you're going to go in, you're going to execute the statements that are part of the loop, then you're going to come back to the top of the loop and you're going to test that condition again. If it is still true, you go back and execute the statements in the loop a second time. And you continue that loop going through, testing the condition, executing the statements, testing the condition again until it becomes false. When it becomes false, then you exit out and then continue down the program. So you'll execute all the statements in the loop over and over again as long as the condition is true. So let's look at using a for loop. The first way we're going to use the for loop is with something called the range command. And the range command or range function, it's actually a function, can take 1, 2, or 3 arguments or parameters. If you supply or give the range function with a single value, if you give the range function with only one parameter, then what happens is that the range will start at 0 and it will increment that value one at a time until it is one less than whatever that parameter was. So if the parameter is 5, it would count basically by ones from 0 to 5. To do the for loop, we start with a keyword for. Then we're going to give the variable that we're going to use for the counting. In this case, I'm going to use y, in, the word in, and then use the range function. And the range function, we then put a single value in it. I'm going to use, let's say, 7. So it's going to say the range will be from 0 to 7. It will not include the 7, so it's essentially less than 7. We end it with a colon. Then on the next line, whatever we want to do, and here in this case, I want to print the value of y. So we're going to say for y in range 7, print y. So if I run this program now, it's going to print y equals 0, y equal 1, 2, up through 6. Up through 6 because it's always one less than the value of the range. Now what happens, or what is the value of y after we exit the loop? I'm going to go ahead and print y after loop. And let's see what happens there. You see y is still 6. When it got up to the top of the range, it had gone through the 7 times. It did not increment y again. And you'll find using for loops in some other languages that it would actually have incremented y to where it was above the ending value and then exited. But Python does it a little differently. So once it finishes the last item in the range, then it exits the loop. Thank you for watching this Dan on Tech video. Please subscribe to this playlist so you don't miss future videos. Please check out and subscribe to our other Dan on Tech channel playlists.